folks. Welcome to the championship game of the EP Cup Series tournament. The final game is against the Arizona Junior Sun Devils. They played them previously in the tournament. Came away with a 3-1 victory. It was a tight-fought game. Start us off today. Fisher, Crudo, Cusa with Bobston, Nichols back on the defensive end, and Aiden Mott in net. Send it back, shuffle it to the opposite side. Send it up to the blue line, back over to Nichols. Nichols try to clear it. It's into the neutral zone. Picked up by Fisher. Fisher one-on-one. Try to get around the defense. Can't. Try to center pass. Send all the way up. That'll be an icing call. Change, Fisher, Doc, Kobe. Puck's down, Sun Devils win the face-off. Circle behind the net, cycle around the opposite side, Dockery. Nichols back over to put pressure on. Now it's all the way back out center ice. Picked up by Kobe. Kobe. Try to send it out. Bops is there. Sun Devils send it back. Opposite side. Ooh, Doc almost tried to get to it. Sun Devils come across. Knocked down by Nichols. Centering pass off the side of the net. All the way to the opposite side. Picked up by Kobe. Kobe charging forward. He's got Doc in front of him. Kobe tried to send it forward, unable to do so, back to the back wall. Sun Devils, back up, knocked down by Fisher. Fisher back over to Doc. Doc looking for a little help, cycles it back around into the corner. Fisher, looking, tries to dump it in. Luca out onto the ice, back along the boards. Makes its way out to the neutral zone, Lang on the back check. Back over to Ricky. Ricky across center ice. Centers it back out to Luca. Luca dumps it forward. Sun Devils turn the corner. Back. So penalty coming up on Jake for a tripping call. And they get a score off. And the Sun Devils, so a delayed penalty. Take a weird angle shot on Aiden and get the first goal of the game. So 1-0 at the 13:07 mark. back. Sun Devils win it. Cycle around the opposite side. Try to send it forward. Picked up by Bops. Bops looking. Keeps his man around. Takes a shot. Nice shot opposite side. Tobin thought about charging the blue line. Waits for the zone. Zone clears. Goaltender knocks it down. Back out into the neutral zone. Knocked back down. Good stick by Tobin. Fisher fighting for it. Bruto back with him. Cusa on the opposite side. Takes a weird bounce off the wall. Picked up by Bops. Bops try to make a move around. Bruto charging after it. Fisher takes a shot. Goes wide. Cusa back over. Put pressure onto the puck. Swung back all the way around. Fisher knocks it down. That should be an icing call.
The guy, no. The guy, Patrick Lee. He skates like Patrick Lee. His face is down.
Puck's back over to Kobe. Kobe takes a shot attempt. Back out to Doc. Oh, Doc had a wicked wrister. Goes just wide. Back out. Nichols takes a shot. Knocked down by a defender. Picked back up by Lang at the point. Guided to the corner by the goaltender. Picked up by Fisher. Fisher back over to Doc. Doc looking. Tried to hit Kobe on the opposite side. Couldn't get it through the defensive zone. Nichols tried to put a hip on it. Aiden with 2 saves. Dumped out to the neutral zone. Picked back up. Almost knocked down. Kobe takes a swipe at it. Line change for Team Philadelphia. Sun Devils. Opposite side. Come across the blue line. Pushed around. Centering pass. Shuffled back out to the point. All the way over to the opposite side. Nicholas is there. Hits the referee with a shot attempt. Jake try to push the puck out. Center back to the point. Back to the point again. Knocked down by Jake into the neutral zone. Jake, pressure onto the puck. Luka back over to put pressure on. Bart sends it over to the opposite corner. Bart and Luka on forecheck. Bart sends it backhand, goes to the other side. Picked up by Luka in the neutral zone. All the way to the back wall, picked up by Tobin. Tobin gets it out of the zone. Sun Devils have to regroup. Kuda, Cusa. Back onto the ice. Ricky charging down. Hayden sends it up the boards. Trying to clear it out of the zone. Does. Picked up by Cusa coming up center ice. Steered to the corner by the goaltender. Cusa checked into the board. Bruto over to help him. Looking. Cusa turns. Back out to Ricky at the point. Shot attempt goes wide. Picked up by Tobin. Tobin scores! Peruta with the rebound. Tobin with the shot attempt. Goaltender couldn't do the rebound control, so Peruta, Benny P, gets on the board at the 9:22 mark. So 1-1 at the 9:22 mark. Touchdown, Fisher on the faceoff. Sun Devils send it to the opposite side. Try to clear the zone, unable to do so. Nichols sends it back up to Kobe, hits the referee. Kobe sends it back over to Nichols. Nichols turns, back over to Kobe. Kobe, back out to Doc. Doc across the line. Flipped up, try to pivot it back to Fisher, who was coming down the slot. Shot attempt goes off a defender's skate. Nichols back down. Picked up by Kobe. Kobe trying to beat his man around the corner. Kobe. Like it could have been an interference call earlier. Knocked down by Bart. Sent back over to the opposite side. Bops across center ice. Maneuvers around. Nice little pivot. Center ice looks. Gets a shot attempt off. Goes off a defender before getting to the goaltender. Picked up by Bart. Bart looking. Back over to Lang. And the goaltender knocks it down. We do have 2 line judge and a referee out for today's game, which is good. Bart out on the faceoff. Sent to the back wall. Sun Devils pick it up. Shuffle around to the opposite side. Ricky sends it on net. Goaltender loves it. Down, back out to the point. Ricky's there. Back out to Jake. Jake, shot attempt. Back out to Ricky at the point again. Kick save into the corner. Knocked back down. Jake's there. Stick lift. Looked like it could have been a hooking on Jake. Got away with that. Back out. Good stick by Lang. Sun Devils send it out to the point. And Ada with a nice save. Fisher, Prudo, Cuso, Lang, and Ricky. Puck stop, back over to Lang. Lang keeps his man around the corner, sends it opposite side, back over to Cuso, going long. Cuso sends it on the side of the net, pick back up, now it'll be an icing call. Down, step behind, Prudo looking, gets a nice shot attempt off. Wow. Sun Devils win it back, send it over against the opposite wall. Send it long, Bob's on the back check all the way back. Back over to Cusick. Cusick makes a move around. He gets a going opportunity. Gets a shot attempt off. Prudo try to get to it. Kick down by Bops. Sends it deep. All the way back out. Tobin sends it to the opposite corner. Line cleared after delayed offsides. Couple whips on the puck. Back over to Cusa. Cusa try to send it back over to Fisher. Sent all the way back. Tobin regathers. Tobin got a guy on him. Fisher back over to help. Picked up by Tobin. Tobin gets dragged down. Fisher gathered by Bops. Bops knocked back down. Peruto gets a switch around. He's got Cusa with him. Try to make a move. Not quite get it there. Good moves though. Lang onto the ice as Sun Devils try to center the puck. Lang try to get a shot off. Goes off a defender. Picked up by Kobe. Pick off. And gets a shot attempt off that goes into the rafters and actually sits. That was impressive. About 27 first period, 1-1. Fisher, Kobe, Doc. Back out to Lang at the point. Sends it deep, just outside of Doc's reach. Back out to Nichols, who sends it on net. Goaltender gloves it down. Sun Devils won the faceoff. Turn, shuffled around to the opposite side. Shuffled it down. Nice skate by Kobe. One-on-one opportunity with the goaltender. Oh my gosh, takes a wide shot. Fisher's over there. Doc picks it up, turns, looks, waits, back out to the point. Had Lang at the point. Picked up by the Sun Devils all the way to the opposite side. Aiden with the knockdown, back over to Kobe. Kobe knocks it back, Doc over. Picked up by Nichols. Back over to Doc. Doc comes around, moves back. Oh, nice. Almost had an opportunity there. Good shot and almost whipped on the backhand. Sun Devils send it over to the opposite corner. Picked up by Bart. Bart sends it over to the opposite side. Picked up by Jake. Ooh, Jake loses an edge. That doesn't feel too good. Picked up by Tobin. Luca's there to put some pressure on the puck. Shuffled back over to Tobin. Tobin. Back over to Ricky. Ricky. Luca knocks it down, no icing. Luca with Jake on the forecheck. Tobin sends it deep, delayed offside, cleared. 3:30 left first period, 1-1. Sun Devils send it deep, no icing call. Actually, they called an icing. Icing call all the way back the opposite side. .318. Puck's down. Peruto back pressure. Sun Devils send it behind the net, back over. Send it long, delayed offsides. Fisher on the opposite side, looks to get a stick on it. Taps it forward. Ricky on the back check. Peruto knocks it down. Still has it. Peruto comes away with it. Pick back up. Oh my gosh, nice shot attempt. 2 shots attempts. I think that was Cusa on the first one, and then Fisher turned and fired. down. Sun Devils send it on the opposite direction. Picked back up by Ricky. Ricky across the blue line, send it deep. Fisher on the opposite side to retrieve it. It's tangled up. Breakout. Send back over the opposite side. Ricky with a good defensive pressure. Picked back up by Cusa. Shuffled on the other side. Back over to Tobin. Tobin tries to send it up to Bruto going long. Picked up by Tobin. All the way to the opposite side. Nichols is there. Sends it deep. Delayed offsides. Now it's cleared. Line change. Fisher out on the ice. Bruto's there. Sends it deep. Made it all the way back to retrieve. Shuffled back over to Nichols. Nichols sends it up the boards. Bops is there. Comes out of the zone. Sun Devils have to clear. Send it all the way back. Fisher with some pressure on. Bops back over to Nichols. Over to Doc. Send it over to the opposite side. Kobe against the boards. Knocks it back down. Pucks behind the net. Picked up by the Sun Devils. Sun Devils. Back out to the plate. Send it over to the opposite corner. Aiden knocks it down, puts a glove on it. Fisher, Kobe, back up. Backhand attempt by Sun Devils goes to the back wall. Nichols back over to guide it. Fisher. Pressure onto the puck. Nichols with a check. Centering pass hits the referee. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols sends it back out to Kobe. Kobe has it released into the neutral zone. Sun Devils try to send it back up. Kobe intercepts. Looks. Sends it over to the corner. Shot across the crease. 38 seconds left. Nichols sends it deep. Delayed offsides. Sun Devils try to center opposite side. Bobson's there. Check. Picked back up by Fisher. Fisher looking. 16 seconds. Over to Doc. Doc couldn't get a handle on it. 8 seconds left. Luca back over. Takes the puck away. Waits back over to Doc. And 1-0. That's it. So at the end of 1-1.
Let's get cold in here now. I feel good.
Ricky and Lang on the defensive end. Fisher, Dusa, and Bruto coming out. Set. Touchdown, Fisher on the faceoff. Up behind them. Ooh, Sun Devil sent it right into the bench. Center ice faceoff. Touchdown opposite side. Sun Devil send it long. Aiden's there. Picked back up by Lang. Lang makes a move around, try to get it up. Knocked down. Fisher gets through his man, looks, try to beat the defender. Gets all the way around. Nice move. Fisher's back over. Bruto over the help. Sun Devil send it up the boards. Try to cross ice past Ricky, sends it all the way to the opposite side. Zone cleared. Picked up into the corner by the Sun Devils, shuffled around the other corner. Now Bruto tried to save it. Back over to Ricky. Shuffled back over to Bruto. Bruto makes a move around. Splits a defender. Gets it back. Loses it back into Lang. Holds it in the neutral zone. Cusa. Try to knock it down. Now picked up by Lang. Goaltender. Holds it back, Bruto. Shuffles back around. Fisher's back over. Fisher tried a backhand. Sun Devils break out. All the way up. Aiden knocks it down. Picked up by Lang as the Sun Devils make a line change. Picked up. Ooh, head Doc. Still head Doc. Oh man, overrun the puck. Sun Devils send it back out. Good check by Bobs. Lang. Shot attempt on Aiden. Up-skied it to the back wall. Sun Devils center pass back opposite side over to Gobi. Gobi looking long. Oh, goes off the post. Picked up by Fisher. Fisher looking. Still fighting for it. Puck is there. Tries to hold the skate against the wall. Doc's back over. Tobin charging the blue line. Comes back out. Doc over to help him out. Back over to Tobin. Tobin loses it. Toby holding at the blue line. Tries to send it in. Tobin does. Sun Devils send it back behind the net. Look. Try to clear it. Shuffle it back the opposite side. Aiden knocks it back down. Bobs picks it up. Sends it all the way back. The referee got in the way. Picked back up by Fisher. Fisher. And there's an offsides. Puck's down, sent in. All the way behind the net, Luca, some token pressure, back over. Centering pass. Makes it back out to Bart. Bart tried to hold it back. Still there, try to kick it. Now it's sent all the way down. That's going to be an icing call. Bart on the face-off. Jake sends it back out over to Aiden. Aiden dumps it back in. Jake into the corner. Gets taken off the puck. Luca's back over to backfill. Over to Jake. Jake. Try to back over. Luca. Shot attempt goes wide past the goaltender. Shot attempt by Lang. Goaltender steers it into the corner. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols looking. Opposite side. Try to pass to hit Jake. Sent all the way back up. Lang drops it. Try the center pass. Luca's there. Fighting hard for the puck. Sends it back. Aiden guides it out. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols got Bart. Bart sends it deep. Bruto on the opposite side for the forecheck. Tries to lift the stick. Cusa's there with him. Back out. Ricky holds the blue line. Got a guy going long. Got lucky. Comes across. Shot attempt. Good stick. Goes over top into the protective netting. .38. Second period. 1-1. Fisher. Cusa. Bruto. Ups down. Back over. Tobin doing battle. Tries to get to it. Does. Circles back. Looks for an avenue. Sends it over to the opposite side to Fisher. Picked up by Bruto. Taps it back over to Fisher. Fisher with a nice move. Scores! Nice little back 5-hole score for Fisher. So Team Philadelphia. Nice. That was a nice little gentle nudge through the 5-hole. The 10:23 mark. So Team Philly goes up 2-1. Same lineup. Puck's down, sent back to the opposite side. Bruto in pursuit. Sent back out to the neutral zone. Shuffled around opposite side. Sean gathers it, comes across. Oh my gosh, gets a wicked shot. Goaltender had no idea that was coming back out. Shot's right there, back to... Scores! Bruto with the rebound. After great control by Team Philadelphia, so quickly putting 2 on the boards. Benny P having himself a tournament. Down, back over to Doc. Doc edges it back out into the neutral zone. Kobe can't quite control it. Sent back out. Sun Devils. Sends it on net. Aiden guides it. Shuffles it back over to Bops. Bops back up the wall. Kobe taps it out into the neutral zone. Center pass. Back out to Nichols. Nichols turns a corner. Has a guy on him. Back over to Fisher. Doc grabs it, back over to Kobe. Kobe sends it deep. Goaltender kicks it to the corner. Shuffles it back over to the opposite side. Back out to Nichols. Centering pass, Nichols drops it in. Back over, sends it to Doc. Nichols picks it up, comes across the blue line. Gets a nice shot attempt off, goes off the defender's stick. That was trying to leak a couple guys out to the blue line. Kobe, pressure onto the puck, back over. Sent all the way up, and that should be no icing call. Goaltender comes out, holds it up. Line changes for Team Philadelphia. Luca, Jake, Bart out onto the ice. 8:26 left in the second period. Oh, shot attempt. That looked like an offsides. Went over top of Aiden's head. Got lucky. Back out over to Jake. Jake tried to knock it down. Back into the neutral zone. Bart's there. Offsides. Eight minutes left. Second period. Pucks back over. Ricky sends it long. All the way into the corner. Luca on the forecheck. Oh my gosh. Jake's shot literally almost. So holding call on Sun Devils. So Team Philadelphia will be on a power play opportunity. It was on 18 White. Bart, Cusa, Fisher, Tobin, and Fruta. Back over to Cusa. Cusa shuffles it back over to Tobin. Tobin sends it back over to Bart. Bart over to Cusa. Sends it deep back to the back wall. Sent back out to the point. Shuffled it back over to Fruta. Fruta makes a move around. Comes across, back opposite side over to Cusa. Over to the point, to Tobin. Over to Cusa. Kick save. Nice angle. Tobin on the back check. Aiden knocks it down, picked up by Tobin. Tobin gathers it, waits. Looks up. Over to Fisher. Fisher charging the blue line. Holds up. Gets set up, back out to Tobin. Tobin over to Cusa, over to Fisher. Fisher looking. Fisher try to toe drag, get it over. Picked up by Tobin. Tobin looking. Wow. Nice wrister by Bart. Back over. Sun Devils gather. Try to send it around. Fox lifts a stick. Picked up by Kobe. Kobe back out to the point to Nichols. Nichols back out to Bart. Opposite side. Oh my gosh. And the referee again knocked it down. Back over to Dox. Cycles it back over to Nichols. Kobe gathers it. Got Fisher coming center ice. Drops it back over to Fisher. Fisher cycles it back over to Doc. Doc into the slot. Shot attempt by Ben. Aiden shuffles it back over. Try to send it back. Picked up by Fisher. Fisher looking. Oh my gosh. Goaltender takes a fall. And that penalty is killed off by the junior Sun Devils. So still 3-1, second period. Doc, Kobe, Fisher. Sun Devils win the face-off, send it around to the opposite side. Doc against the wall, looking to put pressure on. Sun Devils shuffled it to the opposite side. Now it's back up. Aiden guides it down, back over to Lang. Lang tried to stuck in Sun Devils' pants.
Got like stuck.
Puck's down, one back, picked up by Lang. Lang into the neutral zone. Back over to Kobe. Kobe backhands it, knocked down by a defender. Kobe picks it up at the blue line, back over to Doc. Shuffled back over to Fisher. Fisher tried to make a move around. Pick up by Kobe, try to send it over to the opposite side. Couldn't be picked up. Oh my gosh. Check to the head. Sundouble's good at the blue line. Ricky's there. Hayden with a nice save. That was a nice knockdown by Ricky. Ricky shuffles it back into the neutral zone. Sun Devils gather, come across the blue line, back down to the wing. Shot attempt, gets knocked down before it gets to Aiden. Pick back up, over to Fisher. Fisher, look, he's got Doc ahead of him. And that's an offsides. Delayed offsides, cleared. Bart challenged the puck. Back over, picked up by Bobs. Bobs sends it back up over to Luca. Luca tried to lift it, back out. Still in. Lock up, back over to Jake. Jake pivots it back out to Bobs. Bobs tosses it into the neutral zone. Sun Devils gather. Send it back. Nice check by Ricky. Poked away, back over to Jake. Shuffled it back out to Luca. Luca gathers it. Oh my gosh. That would be an icing call, which was a little questionable. .325 left second period, 3-1 Team Philly. Line rotation with Peruto, Fisher, Cusa out on the ice. Bobson, Tobin. Back down, behind. Puck still being fought for. Sun Devils gets it. Send it around to the opposite side. Stick by Cusa makes it go out of the zone. And there is an icing call. Rotation. Peruto steps in. Cusa trying to jump the puck. Sun Devils gather it. Pressure by Peruto. Picked up by Fisher. Oh, off the side of the net. It looked like it could have been in. Picked back up. Cusa tried to turn. Sun Devils hold up. Wait. Ada knocks it back down, shuffles it back over to Bobs. Bobs sends it back over, picked up by Peruto. Peruto center pass back over to Fisher. Fisher scores! Fisher gets the shot attempt off. Slow dribbler jumps over the pad for his second goal of the game. At the 2:29 mark, the Team Philadelphia hangs another one up with Fisher's. 4-1, 2:29. Fisher in the faceoff. Sun Devils gather, send it up into the neutral zone. Send it deep. Aiden's all the way back. Hope got it. Picked up by Lang over to Kobe. Kobe gets moved off the punt. Picked up by Fisher. Fisher try to hit Doc, and that'll be an icing. Well, actually, no, it won't. Sun Devils into the neutral zone. Aiden with a nice save. Back over to Nichols. Nichols looking. Back over to Doc. Doc. Center pass back up to Fisher. Jumped the stick. Kobe's there. Gets taken down. Kobe. Jumps it back over to Fisher. Over to... Oh my gosh. Puck was just floating there for the taking. Nichols. Try to force the puck. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols back over to Fisher. Fisher, one-on-one. Try to knock it down. Oh, picked up by Nichols. Nichols looking. Scores! Opposite side pass. So Fisher cycles it back over to Nichols. Nichols backhands over to Doc for the 5th goal of the game. So King Phillies putting some points on the board. The 110. Puck's down, one back. Sun Devils send it long. Picked up by Bart. Bart try to cycle it outside the zone, so unable to do so. Now it does stick lift. Send it back out. Now it's up to Luka. Luka's got Jake on the opposite side, but also got 4 guys in front of him. Jake's back over. Luka picks it up. Try to cycle it back over to Jake. Sent back out. Bart steps in. Sends it deep. Jake charging the wall, tries to take a shot attempt back over to Luka. Luka, opposite side to Bart. Oh my gosh, Bart with a wicked wrister. Jake turns and fires, and that net comes off the moorings. Fisher. Back out, try to shuffle. Cusa charges forward. Trips over a stick. Oh my gosh, Cusa point blank range was over top of the goaltender's head. Sun Devils send it back out. And Aiden cradles it. Of the 3rd period, so King Billy puts a number of goals on the board in the 2nd period. All right, folks, beginning the third period. Team Philly up 5-1. Bobs, Nichols, Prudo, Fisher, Cuso out onto the ice. Set for start. Sent back all the way to Bob. Stops. Bruto guides it into the offensive zone. Somebody pick it up, send it along the boards, try to flip it back out. Nichols sends it on net from the point, goes wide. Picked up by Bruto. Sun doubles, leak a guy out to the blue line. And Hayden gloves it down. Puck's down, Hayden guides it, sends it up the boards, picked up by Fisher. Fisher tries to send it back out. Pluto puts pressure on it. Sun doubles drive it back into the zone, picked up by Bobs. Bobs shuffled back around to Nichols, back up to Cuso. Cuso try to clear the zones, unable to do so. Hayden with a nice save. Fisher, the face-off. Sun Devils try to lob it in, back over to Lang. Lang turned the corner, had somebody in his face immediately. Fisher back over, pressure onto the puck. Late penalty coming up, and that'll be on the Sun Devils. 15 white with a roughing on Ben Fisher. So at the 13:50 mark. Fisher, Bobs, Nichols, Kobe, and Doc out onto the ice. Puck back, Kobe charges for it. Gets it. Sent it out to Doc. Shuffled back over. Picked up by Kobe. Kobe, that looked like it could have been a tripping on Kobe, but Doc loses an edge. Hayden one-on-one with it. Short-handed goal after a bad back check. So Junior Sun Devils, after Aiden made the first save, comes back. Aiden almost had the second one. So 5-2 at the 13:24 mark. Bart, Bruto, Cuso, Fisher, Tobin, back out, picked up by Tobin, Fisher, gathers around, waits, makes a move, comes across, squirts through, picked up, back out to the point, over to Tobin, Tobin back over to Fisher, knocked back down, set long. Picked up by Tobin, Tobin across center ice, hops aside back over to Fisher. Fisher gains the zone and drops it back out. Shuffles it back over to Cusa. Cusa goes off the referee's skate. Burrito. Picked up by Cusa. Cusa holds up. Loses the puck. Nice save by Aiden after a bad pass. Shuffles it back out over to Tobin. Tobin. Back out to Burrito. Burrito sends it deep. Sun Devils. So Team Philly, 6 guys. A penalty at so 4-on-4 for the next 8 seconds, 9 seconds. Back over to Lang. Lang dumps it into the neutral zone. Luca back, token pressure. Alright, so Sun Devils will be on a power play for the next minute 46 seconds. Come across the blue line. Pick back up. Jake with a good job sending it down. Back, Sun Devils into the neutral zone with the blue line. Aiden with the save, jump back out in front. Sun Devils back over to the opposite side. Back out to the point. Shot attempt, whips on it, and Luca sends it down. Kobe, Bart, Tobin back out on the ice. Ricky stays on. Back over to the opposite side. And a penalty coming up on the Sun Devils for an interference on Kobe. So 4-on-4 again. So interference on 24 white, 20 white, sorry. The 10:46 mark. Down, back over to the sidewalk. Kobe pops it back out to Bobs at the point. Bobs takes a shot, goes off a defender's shin pad. Kobe loses an edge. Centering pass back into the neutral zone. Bob sends it deep. 24 seconds left on Team Philly's penalty. Bart. It's a nice shot attempt. Seconds. Sent all the way back down. Aiden's there. So Team Philly on a power play opportunity. Back out to Burrito. Tapped it. Puck is just dying because of the ice. Shuffled back over to the opposite side. Fisher back over. Presses the defender. Burrito's back over. Bops holds the zone. Opposite side to Cusa. Oh my gosh. Cusa with a one-timer. It lifted up above the net. Don't know if it caught a defender's stick or not. down, back over to Fisher. Fisher try to control it. Set all the way back. Eden's there. Drops it over for Nicholas. Back out. Over to Prudo. Prudo couldn't control it. Sun Devils send it long. Picked up by Lang. Lang checked into the boards. Fisher almost runs himself into the bench. Back out to Lang. Lang over to Fisher. They gain the zone. Flip it back over to Kusa. Kusa. Even strength. Nichols on the back check. Shot attempt goes wide. Back out to Prudo. He's out of the box. Picked back up by Nichols. Goes off the back of the referee into the neutral zone. Sun Devils. Send it on net. Aiden's there. Lang. Puts it back over to Prudo. Prudo. Try to fight for it. Shuffle back. Fisher gets it upside the boards. Sun Devils make a move. Back out to the point. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols has a leg. He's got a couple guys. He's got Fisher on the opposite side. Try to make a move around. Nice. Oh my gosh. Fisher with a nice rebound off of Nichols after getting two good shots off. Back out to Doc. Kobe's there. Put pressure on. 7:31 left in this game. Good defensive pressure by Tobin. Tobin comes away with it back into the neutral zone. Tries to send it up to the opposite side. Sun Devils gain the zone. Try to get a shot attempt off. Doc knocks it back. Doc in a foot race. Sends it deep. Goaltender holds it back. And that'll be an icing. Jake, Luca. Jake sends it out to the point to Ricky. Ricky sends it over to the opposite corner. Luca back over to put pressure on. Nice circle back around. All the way out to the neutral zone. Sun Devils get it. Come across the blue line. Ricky's back over. Back out to the point for the Sun Devils. Aiden with the blocker side save. Shot attempt goes wide. Picked up into the neutral zone. Still good. Back over. Sun Devils send it over against the wall. Ricky back over. Picks up the puck. Sends it back over. Try to lead Luca. Prudo with a nice check. Shuffles it back over to Fisher. Fisher drops it for himself. Oh my gosh. I thought that guy shot it on his own goal. Sends it back. Fisher. A vicious check. Nichols shuffles it back over to Bobs. Bobs back over to Prudo. Prudo taps it forward. Fisher on the forecheck. Looks. Nice shot attempt. Hits the goaltender in the shoulder. Picked back up. Kept in the zone. Prudo gathers it. Prudo gets held a little bit. Sun Devils try to send it up. 5:05 left in this game. Bobs with a nice check, picked up by Nichols. Nichols side. Lead him with a nice save. .446 left in the game. Even strength. 5-2 Team Philadelphia. Sun Devils jumps back into the neutral zone. Picked up by Fisher as he sends it back into their neutral zone. Dockery with some pressure onto it. Fisher gathers it. Oh, offsides. I won't see how it was an offsides, but puck all the way back into Team Philly's defensive zone. Puck's back over. Ricky sends it up the boards, back over to Kobe. Kobe gathers it, sends it back over to Doc. Doc. Kobe to forward, bends back over. Oh, it's Ricky. Penalty coming up on number 96. Elbow on Fisher. So at the 4:06 mark, Sun Devils will be down a man. Back over to Kobe. Kobe shuffles it around all the way to the opposite side. Fisher on the forecheck. Sun Devils send it all the way up. It comes out on net. Puts it back. Picked up by Lang. Lang turns the corner. Shuffles back. Over to Ricky. Ricky goes up. Back over to Doc. Over to Kobe. Kobe sends it deep. All the way over to the opposite wall. Doc's back over. Picked up by Ricky. Over to Kobe. Goes over top of the goaltender's head. Back over to Fisher. Fisher. Sent back up the boards. Lang at the point. Stops. Oh, Doc with a nice redirect. Almost gets by the goaltender. Sends it all the way back down. Hayden drops it back for Lang. Line change. Luka back on the ice. Bart. Back over to Doc. Doc. Shuffles around all the way to the opposite side. Luka holds it back up. Puts it back over to Bob's. Over to Tobin. Tobin sends it deep. 2:48 left in the game. Luka holds it back. Bart gathers it. Bobs holds it at the blue line. Shuffles it back over to Bart. Bart. Tobin gets a nice shot attempt. Blocker side save into the corner. Bobs.
It's gonna waste time. You gotta do something, Casey.
Chase the puck, Casey!
Back out. Even strength. With 2 minutes left in this game. Sun Devils across the blue line. Tobin putting pressure on too. Picked up by Bart, sent back over to Jake. Jake sends it into the neutral zone. Crudo, put pressure on. Fisher coming off the bench, picked up by Crudo. Dumped back over. Fisher gets an edge. Scores! Fisher with the hat trick. Wow. Nice speed by Crudo that lightly tossed it out there. called for an unsportsmanlike conduct. Yep, so an unsportsmanlike conduct. So Fisher gets the hat trick and then gets the unsportsmanlike. So 1:31 left in the game. Steps down, back up. Lang sends it deep. Some token pressure back in the neutral zone, picked up by Nichols. Nichols sends it all the way back. Another across the blue line. Knocked down by Lang. Lang sends it all the way back. All the way back, getting a little chippy here. Aiden shuffles it back around. Luco drops it back over. Sun Devils send it back up to the point, knocked down by Nichols. Back over to Sun Devils, center it, picked up by Nichols. Nichols back out, sent all the way down with 21 seconds left. Shot attempt goes wide, pick back up. Backhand, it's there. That'll do it. So Team Philly comes away with the tournament win against the Arizona Junior Sun Devils. Good game, tournament win. Tournament presentation with the banner. It's like Braden Fisher comes away with the most valuable player of the game. Coach trying to get him in line at the center ice. Several photos.
Oh, you're gonna face that way?
Yep, so tournament officials turning him around in front of the scoreboard. Good team effort today.
Swing this way!
Coach, turn him on in.
There we go.
There we go.
Zim, your son's on. You cheated.
Get in there. Get in there. Squeeze in.
Look at nipples.
All right, folks. Good tournament weekend. That'll do it for this weekend. Thanks everybody for joining.